Welcome to the Kahler Podcast. This time we are talking about the next in our 5 guitars that we're doing for 5 completely different influencers with G&L. This one is for Dr. Andre Fludd. My goodness, that's a lot of pressure, man. This guy's a PhD in music. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing good.
The cool thing about this guitar right off the bat is that the last one we did for Trey Xavier and Gear Gods, that one and this one are the closest to as far as anything goes. And even though they're close, they're really different. They both have the Freeway switch, but it's a different kind. They both have mini toggles, but they're different kinds. They both have humbuckers, but they're completely different. And
they have Kahlers on them.
But completely different. Because this one has the Kahler Steeler Professional, which in my not so humble opinion is the greatest double locking fulcrum bridge ever made.
With the latching.
Yes, with the Auto-Latch, which we've done a little bit of refining to since it first came out.
Yeah, we've made it so it goes well with the Steeler, that's all.
When we're talking about the new Steelers, because believe it or not, I still get people that will say, you make the Steeler again? You're kidding. Well, I have to remember that it was only a year ago that we announced it, but same plate, different saddles, completely different saddles from what originally came on it. We have 2 different versions of saddle, traditional and professional. But the blocks are really the blocks in the saddles, man. Those are the big news.
Okay. Yeah.
Pick anything because there's so much to talk about. You want to talk about the saddles?
Well, let's go ahead and talk a little more about Andrew Fludd. That's one of them.
Oh, geez. Yeah, man. You know what? When I picture Andre Fludd, I picture this just extremely cool, really, really capable, incredibly smart PhD. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to pull things I've heard on movies out of the air, riding the L train with his gig bag on his back to go do a lecture or something like that, you know, right there on the New York, New Jersey border. I mean, this guy just, and then at night he's going to like improvise bebop at some, you know, bar somewhere where everybody can just improvise at the drop of a hat.
I think that's great, but I think from an academic point of view, he did get that doctor's degree without a hell of a lot of academic work. So I'm very interested in what he has to say.
Boy, I am too.
And what I've seen and what he does is fantastic. And that's why he's one of the 5 people we're using.
He actually did a great big thing right when I first came here. He made a video on the different vibrato systems, and the Kahler was one of them. And man, did he nail absolutely everything about it, except he pronounced it Kahler and not Kahler. But that's no big deal whatsoever.
You know, that's great. I'm glad that he noticed the bridge.
He was really impressed too, and I left a comment on his video, and then I got a hold of him, and he said that he had actually heard that we were going to be reissuing the Steeler and the Auto-Latch. He wanted to try one, and we tried to put something together, and it kind of fell apart. Not anybody's fault. We just couldn't get all the logistics worked out. And I said, I will. Once again, I think this guy's just too cool. You know, it's like, we will figure out a way to get you one of these bridges. By God.
Well, we did that, and he became part of the G&L because obviously people don't play our hardware without a guitar.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
It's a little hard to demonstrate. Why don't we get on with the guitar then?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the first thing I want to say about the guitar, boy, is that a unique paint job. And it was real easy to pick everything except the paint. You know, he was like, okay, I know exactly what I want for this, this, and this. And I was like, great, what color? And he was like, I'm going to need to get back to you. And we went through so many different things. This right here is really, really cool. And there have been people who have seen pictures of it and they've been like, why is there blue painter's tape across the front of it? The camera doesn't do this justice. That is Lake Placid blue, a classic Fender color in racing stripes matching on the headstock. And the way that James did it at G&L, he did it to where it actually is floating above the flake, but then clear coated again.
Well, we saw some of the videos of him actually doing that. I thought that's great. James is really good at it.
James is such a talented builder.
Yeah.
And a great guy.
Yeah. And then we've got different gears on him and
the GraphTech ratio locking tuners.
Yep.
Once again, the GraphTech ratio locking tuners, I don't know who came up with the idea, but essentially they set out to make it to where a half turn is one full semitone, which is one full note. And so every single gear on all 6 of those things is different. And Gary, you've said, what a manufacturing nightmare.
Oh my goodness.
So they're committed.
Well, everybody else is making gears that the ratio is the same on all 6 of them.
Typically 18-1.
That's about it. And the purpose for that is
half a turn, which would be if you think of a guitar tuner,
yep.
You know, when you spin it completely half a turn, that is one note, which
yep.
is, to be fancy, I'm trying to impress Dr. Fludd here, one semitone or half step.
And the pickups are...
Oh, wait a minute. We're not done with GraphTech yet. When I went to the NAMM show last year, I got to have breakfast with Steve Vai and Frank Zappa's former guitar tech, who's now Adrian Ballou's guitar tech, Thomas Nordegg, who is just a mad scientist, big hero of mine. He designed the tuner buttons on their barrels, and he actually said if somebody would just do this as we were sitting there having breakfast at NAMM, and then when this project started happening, GraphTech told me, because I'd said something about Frank Zappa, they said, well, I don't know if you know who Thomas Nordegg is, but he designed these barrels. And I said, you guys made those? He was telling, oh my God, can I have them? And they said, yes. So we have them on all of the guitars. They don't do it for bass.
Well, that's very progressive, though, to have different gears.
Well, everything about GraphTech is very progressive, and just like Kahler.
Yep.
Just like Kahler, you know, the whole cam thing. And one of these days, we're going to have to really tell the story about how you met Dave Story and Grover Jackson saying there's this guy doing a cam too and all that stuff. In New Zealand. Anyway, let's get back to the guitar.
What about the pickups?
Oh, the pickups. My God, are we ever talking about some groundbreaking stuff here? Seymour Duncan, who makes absolutely the most variety of pickups I know of, active, passive, whatever you can think of, came up with these humbuckers. They are what they call P-Rails. They look like a regular humbucker from a distance, but then when you get up close, you realize that one coil is huge and one coil is small. And that's because if you split the humbucker, you have your choice of a P90 sound, hence the P, or a rail sound, which they had done to get a real great Strat sound. They did that way before coming up with the P-Rails. They combined the two together, wired in series. It sounds like a humbucker. You split it in one direction, and it's a P90. You split it in the other, and it's a traditional sounding Strat style thing. And that's where those 3-way mini toggles come in. Unlike the ones that we did for Trey Xavier and Gear Gods, those were, time to get a little technical here, triple throw, double pull, on. And these ones are triple throw, double pull, on, off, on.
I know. Can you go through that again?
I know. It's hard to even say, and I'm the one who did it.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's enough technical.
Yeah, that's one more technical thing here.
Geez.
The Freeway switch. Now with this one, it's a 6-way, and it does the same things that the Blade does on the Trey Xavier one, which is the 3 traditional 2 humbucker things that we all know and love. But then it will also do both pickups in series in phase, which is a huge sound, in series out of phase, which kind of sounds a little honky, like a goose honking. And then
a goose.
A goose, yeah. Not honking a car horn.
Oh, I see.
But then the last,
I know a honking of a goose. I used to go goose hunting.
Man, I'll tell you what, those things are mean.
Yeah, they are.
Those things are mean.
Anyway, getting back to the...
One more position.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, both pickups out of phase in parallel. So when you combine that with each three-way switch being able to be either humbucker, P90, or rail, it's such a huge amount of possibilities, probably about 50. There's a master volume, but it also has a blend to where you can blend in the bridge pickup, unless you're in a bridge pickup only thing, in which case then it's also master volume, and each has its own tone knob. Okay, that's enough for the electronics.
Well, all I can say is that Dr. Fludd here looks like he's going to have a professor talk to him about all the features and benefits on that stuff.
Are you trying to say he's going to need a PhD to figure out how to operate it?
I don't know. It sounds
he's got one of those.
But a musician that wants so many different things and many options, well, they got him.
That guitar will be able to do just about anything that he needs it to do, because...
the main reason is because it has a Kahler on it.
That was what I was going to say.
About time. Yep.
Forget about all those sounds and everything. That bridge right there can be either a fixed bridge or a floating bridge.
Yep.
Just by pointing it when you're in the playing position. If you point that bar at the 6 o'clock position, it makes it a fixed bridge. And one of the refinements that we did from, some special notes from Tom Anderson when I was at the NAMM show, I saw him, talked to him about it, and he said, have you guys considered this? Because that was a really cool thing, but I think that if maybe you addressed a few of these little things. So I came back here. I said that to you. You said, I've always enjoyed talking to Tom. He's a smart guy. We started working on it, and by God, I think we cracked the thing.
Well, we made some refinements on from when Anderson Guitars used it.
Yes,
and that's what we've done here, and it works.
Yeah, Dr. Andre gets the first. The plate and one block option are the only things that are the same about this or the other Steeler as the one in the 90s. And the studs too.
Yep. And it still has the sound chamber on the radius.
Oh, yeah.
And each saddle is exactly the same height because the harmonics are coming off of it.
Yeah, that whole thing with the ring off, I'll have to insert that somewhere.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get into let's start with the thing that most people will probably not notice. The fine tuners have been redesigned. You made them more comfortable.
Yep.
They're bigger. They got a dome to them. Just nicer, more ergonomic on the hand. The saddle is what makes it either traditional or professional, and the professional we got enough to talk about. So let's just quickly go through the traditional, because it looks a lot more like, can I say it looks more like the Floyd Rose, because that's what.
You mean the traditional one with the thumb block in it?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, there we're actually cutting the balls off the string by using a thumb block rather than just an inserted square piece of steel.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually put your thumb on it, you can slide it, you can trap the string well enough to tighten up the bolt in the back.
Yep.
So the wire can't get loose and, prick your finger and make you bleed. And it even centers it going into the actual witness point. That was the second generation of a Steeler.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last generation of the Steeler. I might add that saddle that that you thread the string into is a MIM part, and that's a very progressive way of doing things to make steel MIM parts.
So even though you don't have to cut the ball ends off, and this isn't a new thing, there are other people who have done it, but they didn't do it this way. I was actually very concerned that this bridge would not behave right because the mass wasn't distributed properly. So I was more excited about the traditional. I am the very first person that ever installed the new Steelers on a guitar, and you gave me one each. I was shocked to find out that the professional actually outperforms the traditional.
As Mr. Fludd is concerned, we've told him all about it, so hopefully he likes it, when he sees it. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the Auto-Latch.
Man, this is a problem that goes all the way back to 1987 when Ibanez very first came out with the gem for Steve Vai and his trickle-down technology that went through all of the RGs. The minute that the double-locking fulcrum, the Floyd Rose type, was floating, people started realizing that if they didn't put their hand in exactly the right place, they were going to bend that thing sharp. And up until that point, the Kahler Cambridge was the one that floated that you couldn't bend sharp. So what did they do? What did Ibanez do? This was actually a Steve Vai thing. And Steve Vai has a joke. I have a good memory, but it's short. So Steve Vai came up with this idea. He said, hey, guys, I've got an idea for a palm rest. So why don't you just put this palm rest on my guitars so when they float, people won't bend them sharp. And so they started making that thing. And Steve Vai's very good but very short memory did not remember that a year prior, Dave Petchalot showed him the palm rest for the Kahler 2520.
Yeah, we made that.
You sure did. A year before Ibanez. And when Ibanez realized that they were going after a patented Kahler piece, they stopped. So that palm rest...
Well, I want to make that very clear.
Sure.
We never went all the way through to get it patented.
No?
To my knowledge, it wasn't unless David patented.
Perhaps.
It could have been, but it was an original. There was no doubt about it. Anyway, if we get back to this... That was the first way of trying to keep after doing that.
There are so many people that have tried so many different ways. Well, so the patent interference is why I never heard of it until I was in my 50s. And I was kind of ashamed of myself because I'm such a guitar nerd. I thought I knew everything about everything until I came to work here. And then I realized that I don't know near what I thought I did. You had a patent interference, so you just said, I'm not going to pay you a royalty. I'll just wait until your patent expires, right?
There was some interference when we were first doing things with an Auto-Latch. We just stopped making it after about a year and a half. All of those patent issues are gone now because the last 30 years.
Right.
Whatever. Anyway, getting back to what our Auto-Latch actually does.
Right. Yeah. So the Auto-Latch has a bunch of different mechanisms in it. And when you point the bar at the ground at 6 o'clock position, it turns it into a fixed bridge. Boy, how long did it take you and Petchalot and everybody else involved to, how many years?
3-4 years we worked on that.
That thing is so intricate. Now, I mean, it's very easy as far as, the end user is concerned. But you guys must have went through just absolute hell to make it so easy for the end user.
There's so much more involved. You see a tremolo with a bar on it.
Right.
And you think, well, what the hell's so different from that? It's got a bar and it's a tremolo. Okay. Now, when you put the bar down, made a right angle against the strings, the whole bridge doesn't move.
Yep.
Now, in order to make that happen, there's all kinds of issues involved here. First of all, how do you set it up? That's number one. That's tricky. And I know you have a video about that.
Setup is everything.
Yes, and it is.
It really is.
And it's intricate. It's almost too much to talk about right now. So you can attach the video to it.
Absolutely. Somehow, with all the features of that guitar, we nailed it.
I don't think there's much more to talk about, I can think of.
No. You know what? The next one is going to be the Rampage for Glenn Fricker. Originally, he was going to be first, but then he had a trip to Germany. So he said, throw me in the back. And so he'll be next. That one's going to have a sustainer.
Okay.
Very, very, very excited to see what a sustainer with a 2300 is going to be like, because the 2300 has so much contact area with the plate that the sustain is better than it is with any fulcrum, even the ones we make.
I know the sustainers is something new, and that's great. Well, when are we going to get Dr. Fludd's guitar out to him here?
I think that we're going to probably take a couple little promo photos, some glamour shots, and then we'll box it up and we'll send it out to him. He should, with any luck, he'll have it by the end of next week.
I hope so. Yep. That's good. That will be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, until next time, this has been Eddie Kernan for Kahler.
And it's Gary Kahler. And hey, I'd like to hear back from you. Tell us what you think.
See you next week.